Welcome back. We're continuing the news. The Jamaica Bar Association says it would be constitutional for the government to make vaccines mandatory. But there are many provisions which would have to be implemented to satisfy a mandatory vaccine scheme. Now, President of the association, Alexander Williams, provided details in an interview on Radio Jamaica's Beyond the Headlines with Dion Jackson Miller. Dwayne Anderson has the report.
The Jamaica Bar Association's Constitution and Human Rights Committee has been researching the issue of mandatory vaccination, and they believe that the courts would not find it unconstitutional. But questions still linger about the rights of citizens to choose, and in this instance, to refuse a vaccine.
I do not think that there would ever be contemplated a law that literally forces a medical officer or whoever, a policeman, to hold it down in your driveway and stick a needle in your arm.
The Bar Association explained that a mandatory vaccine scheme would definitely breach several rights and freedoms, including one's right to privacy, freedom of religion, and right to freedom from discrimination. At the same time, the state has a case if it can prove that infringing on those rights is for the greater good of society, which can include saving lives.
There are times in which we have to have a say as to what you put in your body. I'm not putting it as bluntly as that. You know, we are free, yes, but nobody is completely free to do everything at all times. Right? Reality is that our constitutional rights are subject to provisos that are reasonable in a free and democratic society once reasonably imposed.
Mr. Williams, however, contends that companies wishing to implement a vaccine mandate could be successful in court if, among other things, they can prove that their business is one where workers have to deal with high-risk people or if their staff are immunocompromised.
And those who are in the supermarket, in the distribution trade, in the retail sector, those are persons who would have to be subject to a mandatory vaccination policy because you're coming in contact with the public. Right. And you're in the industry that is amongst those exempted under the RM orders. So there's no one
size fit
workplace policy that will fit all. A small accounting firm that has 3 accountants working in it remotely, for each from their home, you wouldn't have any mandatory vaccination policy.
Yeah.
You know, to give an example. But what this is a roadmap and a guideline for all employers.
Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.